Hi there. Today we are talking about personal branding when you are afraid people will reject you or think that what you have to offer isn't good enough. So, how do you sell your skills and yourself when you have a fear of rejection? Well, first, you need to tell people you have something to offer. And thus, you need to build a brand, a personal brand to showcase you, your skills, what you have to offer, and how that can be used to create an income for you, and how what you have to offer can benefit them. Let's dive into the personal branding part first, shall we? Personal branding can set yourself apart from others, whether you are going to be doing direct or indirect sales, marketing, job prospecting, or wanting to move up in your current company. And by having a personal brand, you can start selling that brand, whether you are selling digital or actual products, your services, yourself for a job, or building yourself up to start something on the side. A quote by John Johns says, "Personal branding is the art of becoming knowable, likable, and trustable." And that's the know, like, and trust factor that I talk about quite often. Because creating a unique and personal brand for yourself will set yourself apart from the sea of other prospects in your company, in the industry, across social media, and the digital world we live in right now. It helps to identify you to your potential audience and can showcase what you have to offer within that competitor sea as well. 61% of people are more likely to buy from brands that deliver unique content. There are certain rules that apply when you are within your 9 to 5 and you want to either start a side hustle or just build yourself up to the next level. For this, know the guidelines and add your own special flair where possible, and make sure that it adds to your work and it doesn't take away from it. The skills you will be learning, defining, growing during this process will probably end up adding to your work and will benefit your company anyway. You just might need to learn how to prioritize and plan. Because the biggest thing about personal branding is it actually allows you to change, to think differently or bigger, and it opens up your mind to more what ifs, new opportunities, and different possibilities. If you change direction, whether it be companies, industries, or business ideas in the future, your brand can follow you, and you can keep building and evolving the brand, which is you and your expertise and skills. So take that into consideration as you're beginning with the branding process. Think about non-specific wording in naming so it can evolve and change with you if you are building your business. Think about your ideal customer and how you want to be known. And the ideal customer can also be the companies or industries or potential job roles that you want to work towards, as well as the people who will be buying your product, your service from you. Think about if you want to expand your business in the future and use that as inspiration for the beginnings of your personal brand. And then keep things simple so you can get started with the base and work forward from there. If you want to know more about actually getting started with your personal brand, I have a few videos around this topic and what a personal brand actually is that I will link in the comments for you. Just always remember, potential customers love a cohesive, professional look. When you put in the extra effort to create a gorgeous brand for yourself, your customers will notice and refer you to others. Because magical things start happening when you have your brand figured out and your social media channels begin to take on the same appearance and look. You come across as professional, focused, and customers, as well as others, will look to you as the expert. Presenting a brand consistently across all platforms can increase revenue by up to 23%. Now, I have covered the why of a personal brand, but it might not matter if you are afraid of how you are selling yourself and not sure if you are good enough. So 2 big reasons why new brands fail at marketing their services are, first of all, they don't know how to market or who to market to. And secondly, they can't or don't want to deal with getting rejected. And that's the one we're going to talk about a bit more today. If you are afraid of rejection, the odds of success are unfortunately stacked against you. Nothing will grow your experience more than getting rejected. And yes, I know that is much more easier said than done. The fear of rejection lurks deep within all of us. Our brains can't tell the difference between fighting for our survival versus being told no from a potential customer or client. It's the chimp brain that wants to protect us from hurt. And last week in my mindset video around how to overcome fear of rejection, I mentioned that there is evidence that shows that rejection appears to activate the same region in the brain that physical pain does. So of course, we want to avoid this at all costs. But as a brand, your goal is to develop and maintain lucrative relationships with your network and your potential ideal customers. So you essentially want to disrupt their feed. You want to disrupt their information sequence or the way of accepting new ways of doing, so they see you above the sea of competition. You're always going to interrupt when you're trying to get new customers in order to build new leads, make new connections, and get to know your audience and clientele. And it's difficult to interrupt someone's day because you don't know how they will react. And what happens now is you become super vigilant, interpreting their reactions as a rejection. Your chimp brain screams out rejection when all their behavior demonstrates is potentially a reflex response to the interruption of meeting you and seeing your content for the first time. The marketing rule of 7 states that it takes an average of 7 interactions with your brand before a purchase will take place. We are social creatures and we want to be accepted. But you have to realize that your primal brain is killing your business. That is the one that is preventing you from moving forward due to not wanting that fear, that hurt, because you feel you are not good enough. Most of us have mental hang-ups about rejection. And trust me, I do get it. We all want to be accepted by others. When somebody rejects our sales proposal, our pitch, maybe our interview, they're going against the grain of this deep-seated element inside us. And it feels like we are being rejected. Our whole being isn't good enough. With that being said, the first step to realize that fearing rejection is completely natural. It means you're normal. And it might be easier and more comfortable to avoid rejection short-term, but in the long term, the results are quite life-changing. What will you lose when you don't go after the business or the job you really want because you are afraid of putting yourself out there? Because you are afraid of what you have to offer getting rejected. What if? What if it's amazing? People love it, they need it, and they want it. So what can you do to start working towards building your personal brand and overcome the fear of rejection? Because there are so many people that want to start businesses but never do because of their self-doubt. Sometimes we make excuses like not having the time or not yet being in the financial position we want to be in before taking on something so big. But most of the time, there is doubt underneath all these excuses. So what can you do to eliminate fear of rejection, self-doubt, and imposter syndrome when you are building your personal brand and you need to sell yourself? I have a few steps for you. I hate this one, but it does hold some truth. And the reality is, don't take it personally. Or the famous one, it's not personal, it's business. The reality is, not everyone will want what you have to offer. And that is okay. That is why you build your ideal customer avatar, so you can hone in on the people you know you are filling a need for. And yes, even then, some might not be for you, and that is good too. You don't want everyone. You want the right clients, the right company for you, the right prospects. And don't take yourself too seriously. Learn from your rejections, make adjustments, and move forward. The second thing is to build out your evidence and build a positive center. So make a list of everything you are good at, have achieved, results you have seen, why you are the right fit for the job or have a great service or product to offer, and how you are solving a need for your customers. Then keep the positive traits in mind every day so you can focus on that and let that drive you forward when the doubt or fear of rejection pops up. Thirdly, very important is to remember your why and stay connected to the reason that you are doing this, because that has to do with knowing your value and purpose. And it is so vital here because this will be the anchor during the stages of fear, doubt, and imposter syndrome. You can get the link to the exercise I work you through to help you figure out your why and your value and worth in the comments. Because when you are afraid of feeling doubt, you need to focus on this fourth point now. Progress over perfection. It will not be perfect from the beginning, and if you wait to start until it is perfect, you won't get started at all. No business is perfect when it starts, and if you ask any other business owners, the answer will probably be it will never be perfect. So accept that and know that with feedback comes growth. With failure comes new ways of doing things. Then, taking back the control is the fifth important focus you need here. It can look many different ways, such as you tell as many people as you want when you want to get started. You can create that soft launch, or you can decide to go all out and tell everybody. You control who you allow into your circle and who you want to let out again. You can mute the haters and amp up the brand lovers. In a video I did a few weeks ago, I talk about dealing with criticism and feedback as you are building your personal brand. And it is really vital to understand here that you control what you allow in as feedback, what you set aside, and what you want to work on and improve. Lastly, give value and keep doing that. Listen to your audience and give them what they need. Make sure you're solving those problems. As you do that, you grow. Your personal brand starts growing, and the doubts should start becoming a little bit softer. When we pursue new things, it is a sure thing that there will be fears and inputs from others. But you can control how you allow that to affect you, and just keep moving forward to build that activation energy and momentum. If you do not take the skills you have and start promoting yourself, or see how you can build those skills into a profitable business on top of your 9-to-5, you won't grow forward, and you will be looking back in a few years and wonder where the time went. Robert Kiyosaki says, the better you are at communicating, negotiating, and handling your fear of rejection, the easier life is. The reality is, right? We all want to move forward. We all want a life that we love and enjoy. But are you ready to overcome the things, the fear that are holding you back from being where you want to be? Are you preventing yourself from seeing your true power and stepping into your fearless life?